Welcome back, guys. So in the first part I showed you how I constructed the base of my storybook card, and I'm just going to show you how I've decorated it. Okay, so I've decorated it solely using Stampin' Up materials, but you can use whatever either you have handy. This project lends itself really well to using all those little bits and pieces of scraps that you've got lying around. Okay, so here's the front. So when you send it or when you receive it, it will have an elastic closure. So you simply undo that and then you're going to flip it up. Now I've popped photographs in here. Those of you who know me know that I've got our first litter of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, and they're extremely adorable at the moment, and so I've done this as a lasting memory before they go to their forever homes. And then each of the pages fold out, and you can see here that I've varied the size of the photographs that I've used. This one I wanted to demonstrate, show the beautiful paper. And you can also, when you put your embellishments down, if you don't know what photograph you're going to put in there, just glue the base of your embellishment, and that way you're going to be able to slide in your photos underneath. Okay, and then we've open up here and here. It's a bit hard to see, but I've done some beautiful silver embossing from the Star of Night stamp set along there, and again in here. And you can see here that I've left that section there open so that I could just come along and slide in my photographs. Okay, so I close that up and there's the back. So I'll show you how I decorated my album. Okay, so I've got my blank album here. Okay, so first of all I'm going to do my cover. Now, to really speed things up, you can use Project Life cards throughout your album, and that makes your decorating a lot quicker. So I've already gone ahead and chosen my layout, but I'm just going to show you how quick it is to decorate. So I've taken some scraps of cardstock, and what I do is I lay them down using just a dot of snail on the back so that I can reposition it and I don't stick it down too hard. And when I'm happy with my design, I just go along, and I'm an inker, so I like to just ink lightly around the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to glue each of these down. So I'm just going to put some fast fuse. Oop, that's the end of that one. On the back of everything. Now I've used, for my embellishment, I stick these down. So I do my outside areas first. Normally I work from center out, but I've already pre-measured each of these. So for my feature panel, I've used my layering square framelits, and I'm just going to simply center that in there. Now, if you've got a little area that you've got a little bit of ink on, use your little punches, and I'm just going to put a little love heart here. So there's no mistakes in paper craft, they're embellishment opportunities. Sometimes I put a few more embellishments than other times. Okay, so there you go, we've got the front done. And it's exactly the same process as we work through. So it's always a good idea to work out your layout. So when you've got a rough layout and you're happy with that, then you can go along and glue that down. Go for the stick. Now, to create this decorative piece, I'll show you how I did that. So on the back I've got a piece of designer series paper, which I've used my triple banner punch. So that's a 1-inch piece, and that was measured at 6 inches wide. Now here I've used a Project Life card. I've actually used a couple. So I've got my base piece, then I've taken another Project Life card, and I've taken, you can see here where I've cut out that piece and I've layered that up. So when you put them all together, you get a beautiful layered effect. And I've just matched the colours going by what's in my feature panel. So I'll stick all of this down. So with this piece, I'd probably use a dimensional on that. Okay, so let me use 3. I'll take off my backing. There we go. So, making sure we're straight. There you go. So that gives it that extra dimension. Let's see if we can see here. So you can see that extra dimension that I've given it. And then I'll just simply put a thin bead of Tombow there. Now I want to center this, so I find it easier if I place that piece down and then stick it down that way. Okay, so when I'm happy, you can either use fast fuse. You'll see I shift between the two. No real reason for that, I just, whatever is close by. Okay, so I've got that page done. On to my next page. So I like to balance it out between the large cards and the smaller cards. So here, so we've got an area that we can document what's going on in our photographs. I'm just going to leave this one how it is. Now, those of you that are paying close attention, you'll probably realise I've made a mistake already. I started off by inking around the edges, and I said you've got to, once you start, you have to continue. Well, I forgot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the cover how it is, and then I'm not going to do any further inking, just so that I've got that unity throughout the rest of the album. So here you'll see what I mean by using paper scraps. So when you've got a full-size Project Life card, you only need, so this one is measured at 6 inches long by 1 3/4. So I could just put that single strip there, but what I've done is I've looked at the colours and I just want to jazz it up just a little bit. So I've got a piece of Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to give it a, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch there. And I use a very thin bead of glue. If you had to compare your two adhesives, the Fast Fuse and the Tombow, if you're putting an album together and you're not quite certain exactly where your layout's going to go, you've got a little bit more wiggle time with a wet adhesive. So maybe if you're not 100% certain, go with the wet adhesive, because then if you put it down you can quickly take it off again, whereas the Fast Fuse will stick. Okay, so now you'll see how I go ahead and I lay out my album. So these pieces here, they're just very lightly tacked down. So I've worked out my layout. So once I'm happy with how everything is, I just simply go along and stick it all down. So I'll just go and do that now. Now I'll just show you this here. So here's another one that I have cut up a card and placed one of my layering circle framelits over it, and then I've die cut my actual project life card, okay, to form an element. So what I'm doing is, on my right side I don't want to have adhesive, so that I can slide in my photographs after. This is really good if you're giving this as a gift and you want the recipient to put their own photographs in. So I'll just bring that up so you can see. I've placed adhesive all over the right hand side of that, so when you flip it over, that area does not have adhesive. And there you go, we can slide that in there. And again, I've created this element by cutting up a number of cards, so I'll show you. So on the back we have a complete project life card, and I've layered that with another one. Now this one I've just cut a little section, a 1-inch strip off another card, and popped that again through my triple banner punch. And this little feature element I have just cut out of a card and I layer that on. So I'll pop that together for you. Okay, so now I'll just stick this down. Okay, so now I've got all of them, oh, not all glued down. So you just keep flipping over until you've got them all glued down. Okay, so I have now glued and put together my storybook card, so I will take you through. So we open it up and then bring it over there, and each of these spots, if we wanted to put some memorabilia in here, we could. We can slide our photographs in here, and again I've left that little spot there open, and that is our album. You can embellish it as much or keep it as simple as you like. It's purely your own preference. I hope you give this a go at home. It is so much fun and it is really, really easy to do. Okay guys, till next time, stay crafty. Bye.